And now on to our final thoughts. So this is my first time playing. Obviously, it took an hour, almost 2 hours for me to play through this. I don't think you all will have a 2 hour video. Fingers crossed. There's a lot of me just thinking, looking at stuff. In terms of what they build this as, which is a dice building RPG adventure, I agree. This is pretty much that. Like, you have a character, just like if you were playing a video game RPG, you have a character that starts off at level 1. You make decisions as you go through. The character feels unique. I obviously haven't played with second, like 2 or 3 or other players, but Boomer felt unique in the sense that, you know, I was crafting grenades that were being used for specific things. So I had grenades that could do a lot of damage. I had grenades that could help me. I didn't unlock them, but I had grenades that could have, like the Big Boom, could have hit everybody on the field. The Stunner could have knocked out people for a little bit. The Napalm, I don't even know what Napalm does. At the start of this baddie's turn, it takes the number of damage times the number of rounds. So like if I had gotten a 2, it would take 2 damage for 1 round, right? 2 times 2. I don't know. I'll have to look that up. But like, you know, there's a large potential for Boomer to be able to do damage. But as a solo player, I was just making sure I stayed alive. So the smoke screen was really good. And then the body surge helped because A, it got me loot. But B, it also could have helped me increase my elements. That being said, there is a lot to this game. Like, you have to read this rule book. You have to look online. You have to find out more about it. Especially since Too Many Bones, you know, if you're watching this at this point in time, Too Many Bones has been out for a long time. I'm pretty sure they ended it with the last Kickstarter that they had, but there's still a lot of content for Too Many Bones. And the base box alone is heavy as hell because of the premium poker chips for the Gearlocks and the baddies and the tyrants. Plus the little thinner, normal size poker chips for health, plus the dice. So like, it's just a heavy box. To get all of the content for Too Many Bones, I imagine would A, put a lot of strain on your bookcase or whatever it is that you're storing them in, or B, if you get, I think they have like a trove that they call it, where like you can put everything in one. I just imagine that's a really heavy box. That being said, after playing this, I would very much so think about getting that big heavy box because this is fun. Like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed once I went through all the rules, I enjoyed getting to play the game. Yes, there were questions that came up. Yes, there were things like, I don't know if this applies or if that applies. Like, for instance, the what was it? Like a drag, some kind of lizard that I fought that had the rally thing where it would help out the next person in line. That part was really confusing, especially if it's at the end of the queue. So like, I'm not sure, maybe I did the initiative wrong, but again, there's a lot to try and remember for your first time playing. So I apologize if I got things wrong, but I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 4.5. Let me look at our scale just to make sure. So for right now, based off of one play, base game, nothing else added, I'm going to give it a 4. 4 means that it's a solid game. I enjoyed it. It has the potential to be a 4.5 or a 5 after I play it some more. And the main reason for that is that I want to make sure if I play this with other people, like I would love for Maya to play this, I would love for Mark to play this, I would love for anyone else to play this, but I need to make sure I understand the rules well enough to explain it to them. Because handing someone this double-sided document and saying like, hey, we're going to play this game, look it over real quick, not everyone's going to be like, oh, okay, I don't know what to do with this, or I don't know what you're talking about. Plus, explaining all of this, like, there were a lot of times when I was reading through the rule book where I got confused. There also, like I said in the beginning, if you are only watching the Finally Thoughts, I'm not a fan of the rule book. But like, it doesn't explain when you go to upgrade things what you would specifically use. This thing, the Gearlock Adventuring Reference Guide, which they call the GARG, which I've just called GARG. That thing did a better job of explaining, like, when I go to increase my attack, how to do it, because in the book it just said, you know, you would roll the skill, and if you get no misses, you increase it. And it's like, okay, but what's the skill die? Because this is my first time playing. This told me roll your attack, like, you know, actually roll the attack die. So I'll roll 1 attack die. If it's not a miss, my attack increases. So like, things like that. So like I said, it's a 4, potential to be a 4.5 or even a 5. I want to get some more games in on this played. Madi and I have actually talked about doing another kind of like another segment on our channel or something along those lines called like deep dive or something, where we play one game just through like its base like through the actual contents of the box. So like for this one, we'd run through each of the tyrants, or for Aeon's End, we'd run through each of the nameless that are in there. So that way we get a better way to actually play through the content, B, we get the full experience out of the box, and C, we have an excuse to play it, because like a lot of times, especially since we're doing this for, you know, content, the way the algorithms work, we have to cater to new people, which means that we can't continually play one game. We have to try out different games and put up different content. So the deep dive, we're still debating on it. It might end up on our Patreon. But again, if you want to sign up for Patreon, it's just $1. We have our Jaws of the Lion playthrough stuff up there. By the time this comes out, we may have more deep dive stuff. So who knows? But thank you all for watching. As I said before, you can leave a like, comment, or subscribe if you enjoyed this. And also look for information about how to support us down in the description. We have a Patreon and we have a Ko-fi account. Until next time, though. Bye.